What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Granny's Peach Tea, episode 218, on this Sunday evening. We're in New York. If you are in the Northeast, it is absolutely freezing up here, and you got hit with a little snow today. Yes, we're here to warm everyone up with some nice Granny's Peach Tea. How about that? It's a nice warm feeling on a Sunday night, so we'll go with that. But yeah, thanks for joining us as always. If you're joining us on the Facebook live stream, or if you're joining us on YouTube, or wherever you found your audio-only podcast, we always appreciate the support. And yes, we got some stuff to get into today. We got two teaser trailers, because one of them was just kind of like a sneak peek that kind of dropped out of nowhere on Friday. So we got that for Street Fighter and Supergirl, respectively. And if you've been keeping up with us, you know that we've been doing our look back through the Predator franchise. And that brings us to Predator Killer of Killers, which came out over the summer. I believe it was in June on Hulu. So we'll be getting into that one this evening. But I'm Ed, and with me as always is Jason. Jason, what's up? What's going on?
Nothing much. Happy Sunday, everyone. I was out in the snow before, writing my name with my own Granny's Peach Tea, if you know what I mean. Huh? Don't ever forget what our name means, people. It means piss.
Just in case you weren't sure about that, then, it is what it is.
It is what it is. But yeah, happy Sunday. Been a nice day. Been cleaning the apartment. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy to report. Though Ed and I have been doing a little non-comic book related movie watching recently. We watched the Kill Bill, the whole affair in the theater last Sunday, which was phenomenal. Anyone interested in that, if it's still out, I suggest go for it. Pull the trigger on it. It was such an amazing experience. And then we saw The Shining yesterday in IMAX, which was, again, a wild experience. A wild experience. I never realized how beautiful and baffling that movie was at the same time.
Yeah, it definitely is. And we had a pretty interesting conversation after the movie about some of the baffling aspects of it. Well, there's greatness. There's also like some things you kind of just either accept or you don't accept.
Like the guy in the bear suit blowing the businessman. Like I get why the murders all like kind of echo now on the Overlook, but was that like the most disturbing sex act that happened in the place? Is that why that's there?
I guess so. I'm assuming it is something that must have happened there, and they saw it.
I mean, they don't look like they're bothering anyone. Like the guy in the bear outfit looks up like, "Why are you staring at me?" And then the businessman gets up and looks at the same thing. Like they're not menacing anyone. Like I don't know, man. A furry convention was in town, and the Overlook freaked out about the furry convention. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. The Shining was what, 80, 81 or something like that. I actually let me take a look. Let me check to see.
It definitely feels like the 70s. So
1980. 1980. So it was shot in the 70s, in 79.
But I guess in the 80s, furries weren't as ubiquitous as they are now.
No, I mean, listen, we usually try not to kink shame, but then we sometimes do. It depends on where the conversation takes us. But
I'm not kink shaming. Hey, if the way you get off is to dress as a businessman, if someone dressed in a bear outfit, and you're two consenting adults, have at it. Have at it.
Well, maybe it's the only time that it ever happened in the Overlook Hotel. I don't know.
Maybe. Or maybe the Overlook was like, this wasn't disturbing, but really odd. I just need to preserve this. He wasn't actually trying to scare Wendy. He was just kind of like, what do you think of this? Am I overreacting?
I can see it. We didn't kill anybody, but hey, Wendy, here you go. Here it is. What do you think? Maybe Wendy specifically has a fear of like furries and stuff.
Oh, maybe she does.
Maybe I'm doing some ad lib writing just to kind of tease what we're going to do later on there for the writer of the film.
Ah, I like it. I like it.
Huh? Bring it all around full circle.
Bringing it back.
But more on that later when we get to our movie. But yeah, it's been fun actually. These past 2 weekends, these past 2 Saturdays, we went back and went to the theater and seeing like older films in the theater. Like we both saw Kill Bill in the theater,
Yeah.
in its separate volumes, but in the re-release of the whole bloody affair. Um, yeah, I echo what Jason said. Like if you're a Kill Bill fan or just a Tarantino fan in general, like I would highly recommend going to see that because it is an experience. And yes, there is an intermission in the middle, so you get about a good 10 minutes. I think it was like a
Yeah.
solid 10 minutes.
Yeah. And
To go take a pee break or do whatever it is you got to do.
and I will say this, it's definitely a different experience. Like I saw them both in the theater, same as Ed. And they this version is slightly edited slightly different,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not like a game changing thing, but it definitely does give you a different experience watching it with the slight edits and looking at it as one longer piece of work instead of two shorter pieces. Like I noticed stuff that we were talking about. I noticed a lot of stuff like that I never noticed the first time because I never actually sat down and watched these two things back to back. So definitely worth it.
Yeah, definitely highly recommend that because it's awesome. But yeah, I'm kind of digging this whole thing that seems like theaters or and movie studios are doing and giving theatrical releases to anniversary films, right? Like, 'cause this is actually, well, Kill Bill wasn't an anniversary, right? It was just like, hey, they just decided to do it now.
Yeah,
But this is like the third. We saw Back to the Future together,
that's right.
a couple of weeks back also, and also I saw Jaws over the summer
Oh, that's right.
on
Yeah, I
that.
missed that.
So yeah, so to see these movies, if you could see it on IMAX, like I think that it definitely adds to it. Like if you give me the option for IMAX, I'm usually going to kind of go for that. Um, and yeah, the older films in IMAX it is interesting to see because it's like the highest quality. It blows away any quality you've seen before, like especially like Jaws or Back to the Future, right? Like or
Yeah,
even The Shining. Like there was nothing even close to that ever before. Uh, so those were really cool. And we were talking about Star Wars: A New Hope is actually going to get released for its 50th anniversary in February. So I'm can't wait to see that. Definitely going to go check that out. And it's supposed to be in its like original form as well. So that also adds to the intrigue of wanting to go check that out. So and also not an anniversary thing, but I didn't get a chance to mention this to you, but Marvel Studios um, sometime last week, I don't remember when it was, they announced that in September of 2026 they are re-releasing Endgame in theaters.
oh,
I mean, I think it's a smart move to kind of get people reignited before Doomsday comes out because
yeah.
some of the rumors have been that Doomsday is supposed to kind of act as a direct sequel to Avengers Endgame.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which it's interesting, but I don't also let's just again that's a rumor, so you take it with a grain of salt.
Right.
Like that's there, and also it could be and it can't be. Like that kind of makes me also, if that's true, it does lead me to believe that another rumor that's been floated around online about despite Chris Evans's best attempts to insist that he is not in this film. Um, that Doctor Doom's beef is going to kind of be directly with Steve Rogers of like because Doom will think he's saving the multiverse, and that might lend credence to the idea that Steve Rogers choosing to hang back with Peggy Carter really started a whole ripple effect on and really hurt the
Interesting.
multiverse. And
That 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 would be really interesting to explore.
yeah, like Doom thinking he's the hero, and obviously you have Steve Rogers fighting someone who looks exactly like Tony Stark. Like that might add more to why they cast RDJ. Besides, like some people thinking it's just, hey,
Yeah.
nostalgia. I mean, there could be. I just have a feeling there are more reasons to the casting of him and why he has to look like Tony Stark than just, hey, we need to bring back the guy who launched this thing to save us or save the MCU at this time for those who feel like they need saving.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of just it adds more intrigue into exactly what we're getting. Not that they're going to ignore the past few phases, but I can obviously say like maybe they're just what they really mean is again the things that happened at the end of Avengers Endgame are leading directly into this film and cause the multiverse saga to be why this is happening.
That would be super interesting if it was Steve Rogers' fault. And let's be honest, if what Steve Rogers did fucked up the multiverse and Doom's trying to fix it, he doesn't just think he's the hero, he is.
Yeah. When we both know that Doom will go over to a point of something will make him the villain, like Thanos, who felt like he was the hero. Killmonger thought he was the hero, but then they have intentions, and then those intentions go to a certain point, and then
That's
they're like,
true,
now you become the villain.
but Thanos and Killmonger are villains in the comic, and I would argue that Doom is not.
Okay. I mean, we shall see. I do, yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I'm pretty fascinated by that. But though it is another example of, another movie getting a huge release, and I'm sure it'll do well. And I actually, for one, wouldn't mind going to see that again in the theater to kind of get even further jazzed up for Avengers Doomsday as well.
I would absolutely see that again in the theater. And I'm at a point where I don't think I'd see most of the MCU movies in the theater if they were re-released, just because I've seen them so often and so much and everything. But Endgame is in like the top, the five I would definitely go back to see if they re-released it.
Yeah, and if they re-released Infinity War and Endgame as one movie or back to back, I would love that. I would absolutely do it.
I would do it. Yeah, I mean, look, we'd be going into the Batman trilogy territory that you and I tread many years ago, but I would do it too.
Yeah, so would I. That would be awesome. But though officially Marvel Studios has said for now it's just Avengers Endgame, so we'll see. Maybe they pivot it though. All right, so then let's get to it. Then I did mention we had some trailer reactions to get to. I think let's start off with this one because this one is. So they had the gaming awards on Friday night, and this just dropped completely out of left field. Like we knew the movie was coming, but like they just wrapped shooting not that long ago. So I don't even know if I would call this a full teaser trailer, but I don't know what else to call it. It's more of like they labeled it as a sneak peek. So that's what this is. So they kind of cut something together. They brought out the whole cast, for from the film as well, and they kind of introduced the footage and stuff like that. Like the crowd went bananas and everything. So I think it was, judge it for what it is. But again, our thing is, hey, this is marketing material that is we're going to take a look at it, and again, we'll judge it for what it is. So let's then together take a look at wow, the other view is interesting. Let's take a look at the first footage from Street Fighter. It's about 45 seconds, though.
Okay.
Yeah, that ending definitely.
Oh my God.
That was a choice. That was definitely a choice.
Beat the shit out of the car. I love it.
Yeah, and the whole you win and using that and stuff. Now listen, Jason, I for someone who's been retired from video games for like a minute now, but what I do have available still in my basement, and I don't think I showed you this while you were here. was I do have the arcade one-up of Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter.
Do you really?
Yeah, Burr gave them to me. He bought them, and he had them in his printing shop, and he never touched them, and they were collecting dust. So when he decided to move away from it, he was like, hey, I have nowhere to put these. Do you want them? I know you love both of these franchises. And I was like, absolutely. And I went, I picked them up, and I have them in the basement. So next time you're over, are you a big fighting games guy or not really? I didn't think you were.
I'm not, but I do like the original Street Fighter 2 and the original Mortal Kombat for nostalgia purposes.
All right, so perfectly. Sorry, so this is right up your alley then. So yeah, I have those, and those are two of my favorite like video game franchises like ever. Like my friend Steve would play, me and him would play for hours, and friends like I used to like we'd get everybody together and then like just play video games and stuff like that. And me and him were usually kind of like the two best ones at the fighting games. So it was always fun. It was more like a chess match. We would turn off the time, and it would be infinity. So it would just it was great. But I'm super excited for this. Like this footage that's here, I think it looks bonkers. I think they're leaning into the insanity of the what this is, and I'm kind of all here for it. And it's got an interesting cast, which we were chatting about, and I'll pull up in a second. But as far as this for a trailer or just a footage, like a little sizzle reel thing, definitely got me even further excited for this. Like to me, this was a win, and it looks like it's straight ripped off the video game, like right out of there. And I know some people have like kind of talked shit about like Cody Rhodes, who plays Guile in this, like his hair, the flat top, them leaning into it looking so like crazy. I don't care. I'm honestly all here for it. What did you think?
And this trailer ended with them beating the shit out of the car.
Exactly.
I mean, come on. What else could you say? I mean, that they are going full video game to the most ridiculous level, and of course I'm here for that. Like, I love a movie that knows what it is, and this movie clearly, or this trailer, I can't say the movie. This trailer clearly knows what this movie should be.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And I'm here for what I've seen in the trailer. I'm here for it. I've always thought that those characters were interesting. I always thought if done right, there could be something fun. I got to admit, Ed, we were talking about the other Street Fighter movies. I don't think I've seen the Van Damme one. I was thinking about this. I think I've only seen The Return of Chun-Li.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So you're in for a treat, because before this comes out in October 2026, I can promise you right now, the 2 weeks leading up to it, we're totally doing Street Fighter, and I think it was 1990. I forget what year that came out. The one with Jean-Claude Van Damme, like I mentioned, the Raul Julia, and we'll have The Legend of Chun-Li, which I just don't know why that movie even exists. The Street Fighter, The Legend of Chun-Li, like Chun-Li is one of my favorite characters in Street Fighter. Like that, she's one of my go-tos after like Ryu and Ken. But I learned how to use Chun-Li so fucking well. Like I got really good with her. So for me, she's one of the best characters in the game. Didn't really warrant a solo movie. I thought that was just a bizarre choice.
No, and you know what? It would have been fine if it was good, but it wasn't. But we'll get to it.
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
Yes, we have a long way to go with that. But man, I'm gonna send you that Chris Pine sizzle reel too of that. So
please do. But yeah, this looks cool. This looks cool as hell. I hope it's as tongue in cheek. I hope the movie is as tongue in cheek and takes itself as seriously as this trailer, because it's a Street Fighter movie. It should be fun.
Yeah, it's again about the World Warrior Tournament. I'm sure there'll be more to it than that, a little bit more, but that's kind of what it is. You got some wacky characters that all have these, unique abilities and unique looks. Lean into it. Fuck it. See what's there. I mean, you also have a cast that is Jason Momoa is playing Blanca in this movie. I mean, he seems to be a super fun dude, so I think that's great. 50 Cent is playing Balrog.
I fucking love that.
Yeah, me too. Noah Centineo, who's playing Ken, who is also actually playing He-Man / Prince Adam in the Masters of the Universe.
Wow. Okay, right. We were talking about that.
Yeah. Our beloved David Dastel Malchian. I gotta find out how to
Oh,
say this guy's
this
name.
Malchian. Yeah.
Malchian. He's playing M. Bison. Um,
Yeah.
you have Roman Reigns for wrestling fans. You have Roman Reigns is playing Akuma, and you also have Cody Rhodes, who I'd mentioned as Guile, who's got like the crazy hair going on. For those of you who watched Reacher season 3, which I'm a huge Reacher fan, like the show on Amazon Prime. Oliver Richards is playing Zangief. He's like the biggest fucking actor you've ever seen. Like literally, the dude's like physically imposing. I mean, for him, it's wild. Andrew Koji's playing Ryu in this. Mel Johnson's playing Cammy. Kalina Liang is playing Chun Li. You got a sumo wrestler like playing E Honda. I mean, this is all you can possibly need in this movie. I
think this looks good, and even the way they set the characters up and the way they look, and like this has the potential to be so much fun, and I really hope it is as fun as it looks.
Yeah, I don't need anything to win the Oscars or anything like that, but just exactly be fun, be charming, know your audience, and I'm good. Like give me some. The most important thing is give me some badass fight scenes. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you really this movie needs to deliver on first and foremost. Give me some badass fight scenes, and be fun, and that's what I need you to be. And that's it. And it's the little sizzle reel. I know we'll get a proper trailer. I'm sure, probably like sometime in the spring is going to be my guess, or over the summer. Yeah. And when we can check that out then. But this got me pretty excited for it. I watched this trailer like 1,000 times.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited to cover the movie.
Yeah. All right, and then we did get another actual proper teaser trailer here that did drop, which is a much anticipated one because I know we will have one soon for Avengers Doomsday because that's going to be attached to Avatar, Fire and Ash or Water or whatever the fuck it's called.
Way of the Unobtainium.
Yeah, the Unobtainium apparently teaser trailer because there's a rumor going on right now that they're actually not going to release the Avengers trailer online until after a week of the movie being out.
Really?
So guess what this guy might do?
Oh, no.
Because he has Regal Unlimited. He might go in and watch the trailer and fucking leave.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, you got Regal.
Oh, no. I'm done. I am done with Avatar. There's nothing that's getting me to change my mind. Since I have Regal Unlimited, I would literally go around the corner, watch it, and then fucking go home.
Would you get popcorn for the trailers?
Interesting. Maybe I could see myself bringing home the popcorn and just eating it at home then.
Yeah, that's a good move. Yeah, why not?
I mean, what I would love to be if it lined up with something else and I could watch the Avengers trailer and then just go over to another theater and just watch something else.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Yeah.
I'd have to see. If that it lines up like that. But if that's what they're doing, there's a good chance I might do that. But for our purposes, we do have a trailer for Supergirl. Whoopsie. Sorry, let me get this going on. Sometimes we do multiple trailers with the YouTube. Let's take a second. All right. So, DC, the second DCU movie is coming out next year, and it's Supergirl, which is being produced by James Gunn, but not directed by James Gunn. So let's go ahead. And he did not write this either, so let's go take a look.
You managed to get most of it on the paper this time. Good job, buddy. Color me your color, baby. Color me your... Hi, cars are out. Hereby declare the 23 will be the best year yet. Let's be honest, babe, it's not a very high bar to clear.
I didn't know any of you were still alive. What was it like to lose everything in a day?
Krypton didn't die in a day. The gods are not that kind. Okay, this does not look like this is gonna end well. For you guys.
Do others on your planet have powers like you?
No, it's a pretty small group of two.
What Superman like?
He sees the good in everyone. And I see the truth.
All right.
I
So,
think that was good.
so as a trailer, it works for you? Were you more excited now than you were before?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I thought the trailer looked good. I like the tone it's going for. I like and I know that this is like based on like a darker version of Kara, right? Like it's like based on a specific run where she is not like the apex of humanity like her and Superman usually are, right?
So this, for those unaware, and I apologize, I cut the trailer a little bit quicker because they do plug the comic that it's based on. So it's based on
Okay.
a run called Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. So in this, and there again, this is now going to be, the DCU's version of Supergirl. Kara Danvers in this, basically, she has watched, she actually watched Krypton die. Okay, like that was her plight that she had to deal with. They do show there, Argo surviving the death of Krypton, and she mentions in the trailer that it didn't happen like that, like it died a slow death. And Kara was, again, in her she was a teenager or 20s, and she was sent to protect her her baby cousin, Kal-El, and by the time she got there, Superman was already existing. He was already Superman. So her job was kind of done. She didn't really have a purpose. So in this, she's looking for a purpose, which is why she's drinking and she's doing what she's doing, because she's dealing with a massive amount of grief and loss in this. So it's a very different take on Supergirl than like what we've seen in live action prior, or what some might think have an idea in their head of what Supergirl is. And that's why we saw she was teased. Her character was teased at the end of Superman, and that's what we're getting in this. Now she goes to a planet that does not have a red sun, so she doesn't have powers, so she can get drunk.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so she's
That's
not doing
cool.
she's not doing this on Earth. Now, and yes, it is, and I've read the run. I have the graphic novel, and you're welcome to borrow it.
Yeah, I'd love
to read it. And yeah, so she's going to celebrate her birthday, and she goes to a planet that does not have a red sun, and she ends up stumbling upon a young girl who's also seen in this, and she is on a quest to avenge her father's death, who was just murdered by basically a pirate for hire, and he's shown briefly in this. So it looks like they're sticking fairly close to the comic book storyline, and
Cool.
Kara ends up helping her like track this dude down, because this dude also wounds Crypto, and that's what pisses a drunk Supergirl off. And they go ahead and they go on basically an adventure together, and chasing this dude around throughout the entire galaxy. So without, again, not giving anything away, that's basically the premise of this. And you also got to see Jason Momoa again in this as Lobo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a quick blinky, you'll miss it, but Jason Momoa is shown as Lobo in this, who looks super
I didn't even
badass.
I didn't even catch that. That's awesome.
So yeah, that's kind of like what sets what this is. And again, from as someone who's read the comic, I'm super excited for this. Like, it looks like they're really taking inspiration from that, and it looks pretty cool. And I do like the idea that they're establishing Kara Zor-El as being different from Superman. She's not just Superman with like a girl Superman. Like, yes, they have the same power set, but they're very different people. As she states at the end, where she's like, he sees all the good in people, and that was the focus of Superman. And then now she's like, well, I see the truth. Like, she considers herself more of a realist, and she's had a completely different life experience than Kal-El's had.
Yeah, no, I think this is going to be really interesting and really good. I'm especially with like you giving the backstory about how much it looks like it's following that run, and because I've heard very good things about that run. So, yeah, I'm absolutely more excited to see it after watching this trailer and talking to you about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll definitely lend you that. I have the graphic novel edition, so it's the collected version. So you can kind of just like, again, go through that, and we can, it'll get you pretty much primed. And it was the first comic I got my wife to read.
Oh, nice.
Yes, so that was also pretty awesome too. She's super excited.
You liked it?
Yeah, no, she did. She enjoyed it. So again, she never read a comic before, so that was like her first. That was her introduction to it, and it is a pretty dark story, as I'm sure you can get the idea.
Yeah.
And I would imagine the movies probably would take a similar tone to that.
I'm sure, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm pretty pumped up for that. And we'll get that next summer. And we were talking yesterday, like there's some pretty cool shit coming down the pipeline for 2026. So it seems like there's a lot of new stuff coming down.
It's gonna be a good year for the show.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so then let's move it on then to our movie of the week. All right, so again, if you've been following along with us for a little while now, we have been taking a look through the Predator franchise with the release of Predator Badlands. We brings us down to our final Predator proper film, I'll say, because the AVP. We're going to kind of wait. Those two films we'll wait until, because we're going to jump into Alien also right after this and go through that franchise. But this is our final stop on the Predator proper franchise here. As I said, this was a animated film that was released direct to Hulu this past June. And it was also directed by Dan Trachtenberg. And this is Predator Killer of Killers. Now, this is the first time both of us have watched this in its entirety. I mean, I started it and then kind of stopped it pretty quickly, like 10 minutes in. It was around the time we made the decision that we were going to do this at some point, so I figured let me save it. So we've both seen this. This is our initial watch of it. I will say overall I enjoyed this. Because going into it, I was under the impression it was just an anthology thing that was going on here. We're going to get like 2 or 3 different stories of predators versus humans, and that was pretty much it. And like, we kind of get that, but then at the end, it all ties in together to give us something that apparently the Yautja were collecting the heroes.
Talk about it.
Yeah,
we definitely need to talk about that.
Yeah, so that's where I was like, all right, that's an interesting choice. But I won't say I'm not going to give this a thumbs down. I thought it was enjoyable. If you're a Predator fan, I would recommend checking this out. It was pretty cool. The animation I dug also. So once I kind of got into the animation part of it, I was like, all right, this is cool. Like I kind of dig this because I'm very, I don't know. Some animation could lose me if I don't like the style of it, and then or not. But I kind of warmed up to this. And I was into it, and plus, again, we've been very much on this Predator train for a little while now, so I felt like this was definitely a better time for me to get into this. Some cool action, some cool animation. 2 or 3 of the stories worked for me. The tie-up, I'll save for a minute, and we can get into that. But not. I saw some people like online saying, "Hey, this was like the best of the Dan Trachtenberg Predator films." I'm like, no, I don't think so. Not for me. For me, it wasn't. This was definitely the third. It was not Badlands. It was not Prey. It was still solid. Listen, I will definitely tell you, Predator rankings, definitely not at the bottom. I can assure you that. It is definitely not there. It is better than, I'll say it's better than a few of them, for me personally, even though with the interesting choice that's made at the end. What did you think?
So I think there's some good stuff here. There's some not so good stuff here, or stuff I liked and stuff I didn't like. I think it comes down to this just isn't for me.
Okay.
That's I don't. I actually disagree. I didn't like the animation style.
Okay.
I kind of looked like it was like a video game cutscene, and not a bad video game cutscene. It's not an insult,
Okay.
right? I just didn't like it, and I think that's mainly the negative things I'm going to say. It's not even dings on the movie because I think for what this is, an animated Predator anthology, exploring the Outer through history, I think it works well. But I can't say that I really enjoyed it as much because it just isn't for me. And also, too, remember, I don't really like animated stuff. Like, for me to like something that's animated, it needs to be, it needs to kind of like go above and beyond the normal animated stuff, like Invincible does, right? Invincible gives us these, and that's a show. I'm not making a comparison. I'm just pointing out an animated thing I didn't like at first, and wound up liking and explaining why, because it gives you these rich characters and these interesting themes. And this is something different. And I just felt like the action was good, but it was good animated action. It's still animated, so I can't get that excited. And I liked some of the characters, but I thought like because it was a 3 vignettes and then the last thing, we were doing a lot of character shorthand. So like I actually liked the character from the third one, the World War II guy, but the fact that he literally could do anything given a moment's notice, that doesn't really work for me. But I also understand that that's character shorthand because we don't have time to actually establish character. And so, I'm not giving this a thumbs down. I think if, like you said, if you like the Predator and you're into animation, you're going to love this. But I'm not in animation, and this just didn't have a lot of what I liked from the Predator stuff that I did like from this run. And particularly what I liked in the Trachtenberg ones. Like, to be clear, like, I think what I liked in the Predator movies, he really does exceptionally well in Prey and Badlands. But it's just not here. And maybe that's not the point, and that's fine. But that's why I go back. I just don't think it's for me.
Okay. Yeah, I know animation, when we covered animated stuff, I know it's very hit or miss for you.
It is, because it's just not my thing.
Okay. All right, so I can see why I probably give it a bit of. I probably enjoyed it a little bit more than you did. If this was live action, would you think you might feel differently about it?
If this was live action, and the action,
same story, same exact everything, just live action.
I would need more from the characters, but I would be more impressed by the action scenes. Because that's the thing. I'm not impressed by animated action because it's animated. It doesn't look like anything to me. It looks like animation. But when even if it's CGI in real life, my brain believes it more, and so I get a bit more of a rush out of it. So I would probably like. I'd still have some gripes with it if it were live action, but I think I would have enjoyed the action a hell of a lot more.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so the short version is it starts off with a story back in the day. It's basically like, you want to say Valkyrie times and stuff like that too. Like there's a character named Ursa who we see that she's actually the character out of all of them that gets the most character development. I think out of the 3 heroes that we get in this, where she sees this villain who is actually the villain is voiced by Michael Biehn.
Oh, wow.
And stuff like that, in Terminator, yeah. Kyle Reese, for those who may not be familiar with exactly who I'm referring to. he's the voice of the villain here, and she, as a child, she is during a flashback. She sees this character murder her father. Her father says, "Avenge me," and then she basically makes it her lifelong quest to do so. And she becomes this like hardened, woman and stuff like that. And that she has a son, and then she ends up seeing like her son, fall at the hands of everything, and like she just goes on this quest to go take this dude down. And when they finally get to this guy, then the Predator gets involved and stuff like that. And I guess sees her as the alpha that's there. And then there's like Predator murders a bunch of these the crew that's there viciously. I'll add a lot of times too. That's where like I was into the action with it. Like this thing is definitely rated R. I mean, there is a lot of blood. There is a lot of violence in this thing, and she ends up killing the Predator in this crazy thing where she falls down this thing and she's like underwater and it's like ice and everything like that. And they have this battle there too, and she ends up murdering him, murdering the Predator. And then that's kind of where her story ends for that moment. But because
Like
then
she goes back and finds her son dead because
yes,
at the end, and then it's this weird. And I found this a bit off-putting because I didn't know where this was going at first. But you had that weird like shot of her, and then the camera goes around, and she's got the control collar on her, and she's on the
yeah,
ship.
yeah,
And I thought that like that was a bit jarring for me.
yeah, because it was confusing because you didn't know what the hell was going on, and neither did I at that point. So yeah, then there is that, and then the second one that we follow here is set in Japan, and there's this dude who has these two younger kids, and he's he's kind of like training them in like samurais, and then they go ahead and they like are forced to fight each other, and then they split apart, and then as adults they come back, and then one is going to take down the other and face the other, and then the Predator gets involved there, and then we see like through the Japanese times, it's funny because after Prey, I remember that being a suggestion by a lot of people of like, oh, the sequel to Prey should be set in like Shogun times and things like that.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of cool, and I was one of the people who was kind of like, yeah, that would be dope if they just started making Predator movies now and different things. And this kind of serves as a version of that, right? Which is why I was kind of like, I guess again, I was looking forward to this, and I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, we got.
I gotta say that the second one, this one is my favorite of the three, and I think like if anyone could have been made into a full movie, it could have been that one. Because I thought it was the fight at the end with the Predator was interesting because it wasn't just a slapdown dash. Like it's these two brothers who were trying to kill each other, realizing they have to work together.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I think that was the best part of the movie for me, and I think it's the one that comes back the most because that's like essentially that is how they all. Well, that's how it ends, right? Those who escape through working together, and this is the moment you find out like, oh, this is probably for the best. So I do want to shout out that I did like the story.
No, so the second one was your favorite one.
Yeah, the second one was my favorite. I thought it had the best characters, the best conflict, and I am team put the next one in Shogun Japan because I think that is just so ripe for the picking of like these warrior class of Japanese versus this warrior Yaochi,
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. And then the third one is set in the 40s, where there's this younger guy who is, we see him with his father, and his father's like, hey, listen, I can't. Kind of his car, he ends up like flooding the engine of his car, and he's like, hey, listen, I can't really help you all the time. You're gonna have to kind of learn to put your big boy pants on and kind of like move on with your own. He ends up enlisting in the army, and it becomes like this like fighter pilot. And throughout that, there's this like whole like fight in the air where it turns out the military is fighting against a Predator who's in a plane as well. And there's this like aircraft battle that's in the air, and the whole squadron is trying to take down this Predator, and then he ends up being the one who goes ahead and takes him down. And this one was. I don't know. I guess this was the one where I kind of wasn't that into it as much.
Mm.
I was just like, all right, it was a kind of a cool premise, but I also do feel like, yeah, he was kind of like a Mary Sue a little bit, where he kind of just do
Yeah,
whatever he needed to do, and that's why it kind of took me out of it.
yeah, I agree. I mean, I like the dog fight with the Predator, with the Yautja. I thought that was a cool scene. But just the fact that, like, yeah, you're right. He's a Mary Sue. Like he can do anything he needs to do for the convenience of the plot. And like even at the end, when he's like, "Well, I learned how to fly a plane in 5 seconds. I can fly in a spaceship." It's like that doesn't track.
No, it was weird. The third. That's what I'm saying. Like, I like the character, but I just think that it was like it was the most uninteresting of the three
Yes, yeah, I agree.
because of the way that it was written. Um, and then we find out though that the Yautja have been kind of gathering and collecting these heroes because they all have these like collars on that I guess I mean it's not taking away their superpowers or anything, but I guess it stops them somehow. And
I mean, it gives them the threat of being killed if they don't
yeah,
kill each other,
obey.
right? Because that's
Yeah,
the whole thing. Like they actually in the pretty cool scene they bring out a Yautja, put the collar on him and blow his head up, and that was like to show you do as we tell you. You fight each other to the death, so one of you can survive, or you all die, and which I thought was interesting.
yeah. So basically, we see on the Yautja homeworld, where we'll assume that's where it was. So yeah, they're basically kind of having like a mini tournament between these heroes who have killed Yautja to see who can go on and take on like the head of this thing. That's it, which is like this other like bigger Yautja who was basically saying who can be like the killer of killers. That's here, and so yeah, so they end up turning on that and working together to fight the Yautja that's there, um, and they team up together and basically work together to fight their way off the planet, uh, and they they escape, and that's that. But then at the ending, we find out though that our hero from Prey has also been collected as well, and is in cryostasis with a collar around her neck. And then in the mid credit, which this was added on after the fact, by the way, because this was released and then it was the mid credit scene was added on like a week or two later.
Okay.
And then we find out that Arnold Schwarzenegger's Dutch and Danny Glover, like they're both also collected and frozen on this thing as well. And that's where it ends. That's pretty much what's so they're kind of setting something up. So I mean, before we get to that, we had some questions. We talked about this yesterday, offline. Yeah, you can say basically the Yautja. This kind of paints the Yautja in a weird spot.
It's and the more I think about it, and I'll tell you the weirder it gets for me. So going back real quick to the last tale where they're being put in this like gladiatorial match, like that in and of itself kind of to me goes against what the Yautja do. Like the Yautja are hunters, right? Like the Yautja are like the people who go into fucking Africa and kill jungle cats because they're dangerous, right? Those same people don't bring the jungle cats back to fight each other so they could face off against the head of the family. I mean, because gladiatorial combat and hunting are two very distinct things. And so these Yautja are going to gladiatorial combat based on the prey that one that doesn't really sit well with me. And then it gets into, as we were talking about, do we have Yautja record keepers? Do we have Yautja interns crunching the numbers, keeping track of where all these people go? Because last I saw, and I'm going to go the one I know the best, Predator 2, that movie literally ends with Danny Glover in the spaceship of the Yautja he killed, and these other creatures coming up and going, yo, dude, here's a gun. Good job. Get the fuck out of here. We're taking off. Like, not the actions of creatures who are going to later look for this man and put him in cryo-freeze.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that part. The Danny Glover one's a little bit odd, and we also know that Dutch was debriefed and kind of like on his way, and he's, whatever happened with him was we haven't heard anything officially about Dutch except for him being debriefed after the events of Predator. So I had mentioned yesterday. Now again, we're filling in stuff here because none of this is ever in here that's put in here. My idea was that, all right, so I'm guessing this is a specific group of Yautja that is deciding to do this, and they went back and started like gathering whoever, whatever humans were able to kill Yautja, and we're basically seeing them as, extremely worthy opponents, and they can fight each other and then fight whoever it is. So I'm guessing it's about like one dude or one clan of Yautja that is kind of like behind this whole thing. If I would just like for some of this to be explained in the film. I don't want to have to fill this in because none of this is mentioned. So
Right.
It would need to be explained. Now, if that's the case, then I can kind of excuse some of that, but it would just lead me to want to further say, all right, why? Where is this going? Like, are we is the idea that is Dan Trachtenberg cooking up a Predator film where we kind of get like a humans team up, the heroes in the Predator franchise versus like this clan of Yautja?
I don't know.
Okay. I mean, if that's what is happening, some more logistical questions will be raised, like Dutch is a bit old. Danny Glover has been too old for this shit before he even fought the Yautja.
Unless they plan on it being an animated one.
Okay.
Like this was.
And again, if that's what it is, fine. I mean, if you're only going to keep this in this little animated core pocket of the Predator franchise, all right. I mean, listen, Arnold wants to come back and voice Dutch in animated form. You can get Danny Glover to voice Harrigan in animated form. Cool. I mean, I know the franchise has wanted Arnold to come back forever. They tried multiple times, and he just kept shutting it down.
Well, I have a couple of thoughts about this. So, I think the first thing now that I'm thinking about it is, even if it is a clan of Yautja, what's the manpower on this Yautja? Because clearly they are monitoring and collecting every single specimen who wins against the other Predator clans, if that theory is true. I mean, we see those three on we recognize them on the ship, but there are like thousands of people on that ship.
Yeah.
So it's like, are they just following along behind every clan? It's like, the more I think about it, the more it points to that this has to be what they're saying, that this is Yautja practice. Because I don't think one disparate clan could have the manpower to go and collect every single survivor of the Yautja on Earth alone, let alone the other planets.
I don't think, I'm going to be honest, I don't think it's, to me, yes, I think it's two things. One, I don't think it's that far-fetched to imagine that a portion of the Yautja maybe wanted this or doing this or something like that. Maybe they're doing it against the code of the intended code of the Yautja, or for most of the Yautja, based on what we see in Badlands and what we've seen in all the other Predator films. I mean, hey, we also saw, and I know it might not be canon or not canon or not. I mean, that remains to be seen. But in the Predator, apparently there was a group of Yautja who were going to go in and conquer the Earth.
Yeah, but there were, and we shit all over that. We talked about how stupid that was.
No, it is. But my point being is that I think to assume the entire Yautja as a species has to follow one thing, I can kind of personally, I can kind of get on board with saying, hey, maybe there are different factions who can kind of just do their own thing,
No,
and that's that.
right, but my thing is more at this point of a legit. I'll even give you that, but mine is more of a logistics thing. Like, how are they keeping the records? So we're making the distinction that at least some of the Yautja that we saw, like in Predator 2, are not from this clan.
Yeah.
So how does this clan know about these people? Are they keeping records? Are they keeping watch? How big is this clan? Like, that's the thing. It brings up logistical shit that I'm like, I, I mean, if they're doing something with it, it better be worth opening up this can of worms. All I'm saying.
No, and I don't think I just do think that you need to do a follow up, and I wouldn't be shocked if this got a follow up because it was. Let's see, what do we get here? If I can pull up the reaction of this. All right, so on IMDb, it got a 7.4 out of 10, and let me see if it was on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, pretty well received. Critic score is 95. Audience score 88. So it was pretty well received. So I would not be surprised if we did get an animated follow up to this. And
I'll say
they
something.
just have some explaining to do. Like
they absolutely do. And if they do an animated follow up, I hope it's a full story and not just vignettes. Like I think like. They should. I thought the vignette thing was interesting. It didn't really work for me. I'd love to see like a full story, and again, put them back in time. I love that idea of having them go back in different time periods.
Well, I think if I'm doing an animated thing for this and I get to pick, I want the follow up to the story.
Yeah, I know.
I want all right. You need to now deliver on Dutch teaming up with Harrigan, teaming up with. The personal break. Give me the fucking all-star Predator hero lineup, and let me get them battling this clan of Yautja, and just explain to me what the hell happened. And that I can forgive some of the things in this again if it's explained later. If it never gets addressed, and we get another vignette thing, and the Yautja during periods of time and we never find anything out, maybe this causes like some sort of like because we've seen the Yautja fight each other.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
So maybe this portion of the Yautja is like, hey, you guys are shunned upon because you're not honoring the code of the Yautja that it's supposed to be, and fuck you guys. Like it could cause something like that, or I don't know. There are possibilities. I do think this concept can set up. I just don't know where they would be, especially when we got Badlands, which doesn't have to acknowledge this, but you're dealing with your own Predator story that you've set up on your own.
And I think this is another reason I'm being so hesitant about like maybe this movie and the idea of bringing back Dutch and Harrigan and all the nostalgic greats is I really like where he's taking it with like where he took it with Badlands, and I don't want to go back to the humans being the stars. Like I like the idea, and I think I've wanted this since AVP, and I didn't get it, and I'm hoping to get it in the future now with this. But I want the fucking Yautja to be the main characters. I want some of them to be the good guys, and we got that in Badlands, and that's forward. We're moving, and I want them to keep moving in that direction. I feel like if we get all the greats back, it's like so we're just going back to the nostalgia wheel, and it's like I want to move forward, not back.
But I do think you can do both.
I don't know. I mean,
come on! You're not up for an Avengers type team up with the heroes in this network. I mean, to me, I think it's clearly alluded to in this film. Otherwise, you're not going to show that.
If they do it animated, then sure, I don't care. But I don't. But I want it to be animated and not. I don't want it to be on the big screen. I want the big screen stuff to be starring the Yautja. I don't. To be honest, I don't want a live action Predator movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the saddle. I love Schwarzenegger. I love that first movie. You know what I'd rather do? I'd rather just watch the first fucking movie.
Yeah, but you're getting a different story here, though.
But yeah, I'm getting a different story through nostalgia, though. I mean, I'm getting a different story with look at all the greats we've got back, and I just I want a great story that isn't reliant on my nostalgia for the past. That's all.
I'm going to disagree with it. I would be up for an Avengers team up for this, and if it has, now that we've talked it through, I definitely think it has to be animated just because of the simple age of Arnold and Danny Glover.
Yeah.
I don't think you can do it, and I don't want to see them recasting them. Doesn't really make a lot of sense, like for the purpose of this. But I wouldn't mind seeing something like that, and we can kind of. It also kind of like we see what happens with Dutch down the line. We see because Harrigan's story was kind of alluded to that there would be more, and it just never. It would kind of. It would do one thing for me that while going through this franchise would kind of give me some closure on so many things that Predator set up and never fucking addressed. Again, the first Predator doesn't leave it open-ended, right? They kind of that could have been a self-contained story and we would have been fine. Predator 2 left it open-ended, right? They alluded to more. That never got touched. Predators, open-ended, alluded to more, never got touched. For whatever we think of it, the Predator going ahead and alluded to more, never got touched. And again, for better or for worse, the point being, it seems to be a theme with the series, with the franchise after the first film. Right?
So,
so it could be a cool way to kind of...
Okay.
It could be. I'm just saying, I agree with you.
No. Having said that, if they did an animated version of what you're describing, and it does tie up a lot of loose ends, and that's kind of the point, to give closure to some of these loose ends so we can move on in the live action, 100% there for it.
Yeah, and I'm not saying no, and I don't want them to derail Badlands, because Badlands alludes to more. We shall see. I would be very shocked if that doesn't get followed up because of the success of Predator Badlands.
Oh, it has to. It has to.
Yeah, I think that's a given, right? Like the franchise is in a good place, and we mentioned this animated film was also positively received by critics and fans. So was Prey. So you got 3 storylines going here. That, I mean, obviously the Prey one is tied into the animated now. Right, which you can say you can play with that, right? Like you don't have to say, "Hey, as soon as that movie ended, she got captured and that's it." Even though that's kind of alludes how it works in this animated thing, but
it doesn't because we know Dutch got briefed. We know that Harrigan left the ship. So I mean,
Harrigan could have got snatched up. Harrigan could have got snatched up shortly after.
He could have, but like. Did the ships pass each other? Like
2 ships passing each other. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying. Like, I think it would be kind of cool to get an animated Avengers type team up thing and maybe close all the fucking loose ends that have been left open through the franchise. And
I can see that for sure.
And have some fun with it. Like, just have a blast. Go ahead. See Arnold and Harrigan team up. Get Arnold back to do the voice. Get Danny Glover to go back to voice these characters. I'm sure they'd be fucking cool with it. They're just doing voice work, and I would be fun to see those 2 interact because remember there was an idea that we were going to get that at one point, and
yes,
it would deliver on some interesting things, and you can kind of just do it, keep it animated, drop it, and if it is. I mean, I would be shocked if it was a theatrical release, just because I kind of feel like you probably keep this on Hulu and, in its own little pocket corner here, and you can follow up directly to this.
Agreed.
And yeah, I can see that.
Agreed. Or, I just, what if the way they tied in all of them was they dropped those 3 on the same planet? They dropped Adrian Brody, so we get to follow up on what the fuck
No. Dude, I'm all about them tying up all the loose ends of the first 4 movies and be like, fuck it, maybe we find out that...
You convinced me.
You know what I mean? After the collar thing, they dropped them on that planet. And if we get them all teamed up on that fucking planet and they team up with Adrian Brody also, fine. I don't care.
You convinced me. That'd be fun.
Have fun. Just have fun with it and just rock with it. And if you can get them all to come back to do their voices... then you might have to release it in theaters because I imagine the budget would be kind of interesting. But,
yeah, that's true.
Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, whatever. Again, you're not. I only would be against it if you told me it's either that or Badlands follow up. Then I would say,
I think
no.
that's the reaction I was having because I don't want it. That's what I meant by not wanting to go backward. I think Badlands is the trajectory that the franchise needs to go.
No. I could see them all. You do like that Avengers type shot, and you play the Predator theme, like the one that they do use it in this too, like a little bit too. Like there's the Predator theme, which is cool. It wasn't heavy-handed, and
Yeah,
you kind of get something like that. You have them all team up, and then give us the whole thing. Give us like just some bonkers, crazy action thing where they fight this, and I would be fine. Like just say, hey, listen, there's this rogue group of fucking Yautja who are not following the code and not following tradition, and maybe they don't like tradition and stuff, and they're kind of on their own fucking thing, and you establish that in the story. Don't not acknowledge it, and maybe we do find out, like maybe this crew of, the Predator Avengers goes ahead and like they destroy all their knowledge and their tracking systems. They're like, fuck this, we're gonna save future heroes from having to deal with this bullshit. And there you go. There's your story. That's the purpose of why they're doing this. To stop that from happening again. Hey, Supergirl, when you watch Granny's Peach Tea, and we know you always do, there's your story.
That's it. So give my boy Ed credit. Come on, at least get story credit.
Give me just some writing or screenplay. I don't know, whatever the hell you wanted, a concept credit. That's all. At the end, next to the best boy grip. I don't care. Assistant best boy grip. It doesn't matter. Whatever. Crisp High 5. I don't care.
There you go.
All right, but yes. If I now, for the purposes of our rankings, let's do a quick rankings thing before because we've done that every week at the end of the episode. Okay. Now I think for me to place this in here, I still got nothing's touching the original, so let's go. We got Predator at number 1. Number 2, we got 2 and 3 are either Predator Badlands, and I'll say that for now, and then Prey I'd put at 3. Those two are kind of interchangeable though, but I'll give Badlands a slight edge over it. Slight. It's more, again, one's more fun. One's like got interesting. They both got good stories, but I enjoyed both of them. So that brings me to 4. I'm gonna be honest. This is where I might put Killer of Killers. All right, I would probably put it at number 4. Then I would go Predator 2, then Predators, and then the Predators. That's never getting out of the bottom.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Yeah, I mean AVP. We'll figure out what we're gonna do with those things, but Predator proper. That's my final rankings for the Predator proper.
All right.
I'm not gonna hold you again. I like I can enjoy animated movies. Yeah. I know it's not your jam. So, and again, you can. It's your choice. Whatever you got to do. What are your Predator rankings?
All right, so I go Predator. That's a gimme. Nothing's unseating the best. Then I go Prey because I think I do like it just a little bit more than just a scotch. That's the thing. It's like you. They're interchangeable. Mm-hmm. But I think for now I'll say Prey Badlands. Then I go Predator 2, but again, you got to remember I have that nostalgia. That I do actually have the nostalgia for. That's the one I've seen the most. I used to quote that movie all the time as a kid. Then I would say Predator Killer of Killers.
Okay. I was curious. I wasn't sure where you were going to go there for a minute.
The thing is the animation isn't for me, but if I'm looking at quality, this is better quality than Predators. Predators, I think, has a half a good movie in it, and then it shits the bed hard. Yeah. And I don't think this does that. This just isn't my thing. And so to be fair, I think this is better. So I'm going to put it above Predators. And then there's Predators. And then there's Predator, Diddler of Diddlers, which is the porno parody of Predator Killer of Killers.
Oh my God.
It's Predator because it's a lesbian porno parody.
Oh boy.
It's really interesting. It's a tournament of people get frozen and then they for throughout time and they have to come and diddle each other. It's an amazing film.
Wow.
And then after that, there's the Predator.
Did you watch the Predator holiday special I sent you on YouTube?
Oh shit! No, I lost track of that. I gotta watch that.
I don't know if I to be fair, yes, I know it's marketing material. It's better than the Predator.
I'm sure it is.
It's actually
I can't.
bonkers. It's bonkers.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna watch it so I can legitimately put something above the Predator that isn't actually a movie because I made Predator her up. But I will tell you this story. In researching
Did
for
you?
this joke, because yeah, no, it doesn't exist, unfortunately. But in researching for this joke, I went to ChatGPT and I said, "Hey, I'm doing some joke research. Can you check the web and tell me if there are any like Predator porno parodies? And if there are, I just want the titles. Don't give me anything else." And then it come back and it told me that there was no such thing, no Predator porn parody existed. But
That's
here's the
good to
reason I'm
know.
telling you this. It is. It actually did warm my heart. But then it said to me, "I'm sorry that I couldn't help you with your," and then it put joke research in quotes. It's like the AI fucking thinks I'm really looking for Predator porn.
Listen, I mean, I don't know. I don't put any of that stuff, man. I don't put any of that past anybody. I guess I don't. I really don't. People, listen. We full circle. That brings us back to the kink shaming thing. People are into some fucking wild shit, man. I don't know where some of it comes from. Yeah, I'm glad to know it does not exist because that's fucking weird, man. I'm sorry, it's just weird.
Do you think that there's like a dark alternative subset of furries that dress up like Yautja?
Probably.
Do you
I don't want to put anything past them.
do you think if the Overlook were alive today, it would have a scene of someone in a Yautja outfit going down on a businessman?
Yes, on a businessman specifically. Again, and they would just both look. Like in The Shining, they just what are you doing here? Yeah, and again, it always goes back to like you know the episode of Seinfeld where Jerry is gonna smother George in the hospital and he tries to kill him.
Yes.
And Elaine walks
Yes.
in. And I always quote that in that tone of voice. Elaine, what are you doing here? Oh man, yeah. I don't know. I don't put anything past anybody with this, man. It's some wacky shit out there.
It's true.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I may have psyched myself up for wanting this sequel to this Killer of Killers to be the Avengers Predator edition.
I mean, that would be fantastic. I mean, now you sold me on it. Now it's if it's animated and it's tying up all these loose ends, I'm in for it.
Well, I gotta get Dutch there with the cigar and everything like that, and you know, and you know, you get Danny Glover with his whole thing. You know, it would be pretty awesome. I think it would be. I can't see it going any other way than that. And if it never gets followed up on, I'm gonna be kind of disappointed in this.
Yeah, that'd be it because it's a big setup.
Yeah, it is. It's a huge setup. Huge. And
yeah,
another thing I will give this movie over Predator 2, and I know I acknowledge Predator 2 tried some different stuff, but Predator is, my God, the fanboy shit it did for the original movie was just embarrassing. And the same thing with the Predator, besides the other problems. This movie didn't do any of that. And you showed cryo-frozen versions of two of the characters. And yet, it still wasn't as heavy fucking handed.
No, I agree. Well, look, none of his movies have heavy-handed references.
No, you get some, and it's like, cool. That's the way to do it.
Right. As opposed to the get to the choppers. Predators, they should be called hunters.
Yeah. Oh my God. Or basically cribbing exact dialogue from the first film that Predators
God, yeah. Seriously, no.
Totally.
That's the thing. That's why there's no way I could put Killers. Like it only appears so low because there aren't a lot of Predator movies. But
Yeah.
like, I couldn't possibly put it under Predators or The
Yeah.
Predator. That would be ridiculous,
Yeah.
And again, I probably if I didn't love Predator 2 so much, I probably would have put it over that. But I just do have that nostalgia for that movie.
That's fair enough. Again, there's no right or wrong answers to this. You didn't do anything. It's not like you put Predator 2 at like number 1.
No. Look. I'm not
I would lose.
crazy.
I would admit I would snap. I'd probably lose my mind.
No, that'd be insane.
Quick comment here, by the way, for Alex. Alex, thanks for dropping in, buddy.
Oh,
Doomsday trailer is soon. We talked about that earlier.
yeah.
So,
We're excited.
Yeah, well, definitely trailer reaction for that whenever that gets online, because, boy, that should be that will be something. That'll give us a lot to talk about there. All right, so then that does it for us this week. Thanks for checking us out. As always, if you're checking us out on the Facebook live stream, sure to join the Granny's Peach Tea Facebook group, where share a bunch of articles and news and stuff that doesn't quite make the show. And it's a lot of fun, so you can check us out there. Check us out at Pop Culture Pros and popculturepros.com, because that's who we are presented by. If you're checking us out on YouTube, subscribe to Pop Culture Pros. And if you're listening to us audio-wise, subscribe to Pop Culture Pros as well. A lot of fun stuff on the network as well, along with our past shows and our future shows. We'll be back next week, as we will have a series to talk about as well. Okay. We have Fallout Season 2. The premiere drops on Wednesday, so we'll have that. That'll be pretty exciting, as I see the hype train is starting for that. We might have an Avengers Doomsday trailer reaction. We'll see when the hell that exactly comes out, because there's a lot of confusion out there as to when we're going to be getting that online, so we'll see that. And for movies, we will begin the Alien franchise.
Yes.
The film franchise, because we did Alien Earth over the summer.
We did.
Had a blast with that. But the original Ridley Scott Alien film, Sigourney Weaver, all of it, we'll be jumping into that franchise next. And then AVP will cap it all off, because that's the way to do it.
I can wait for that, but I cannot wait for next week when we talk about Alien.
Oh, man. Yeah, we got a lot. The Alien franchise has a good amount of films in it. So,
and yeah, and look, some are bangers, some aren't, and some I've been saying I need to rewatch. So I'm very excited for this rewatch.
Yeah, should be a lot of fun. All right, so again, stay warm if you're in the Northeast. It's freezing out here. It's supposed to be freezing for a few more days. Watch out for black ice, and everywhere else, you don't got to worry about that. So we'll see you then. Peace.
Later.